this and he expect me to go back to him.
No. I never been there on this. I never been there on this. I can't.
No more. I want for you to do that for me. It's an asking for it. Oscar problem. Good morning, folks. Good morning and welcome to the TBS on this morning on True 96.1 FM. It's a fresh Monday morning. As though it was not a rainy season, some can safely say, but remember, I will always remind you about this, especially in this era of the rainy season, that the early morning rising of the sun does not determine the fairness of the day. The reverse of that could be within the dry season as well. But remember, you have to be ready, set, and going out. And remember, anything that will serve as obstacle to you to achieving your goals, you have to be prepared to kick it out. You don't run away from challenges, you face it because you never want them to come back again. Even if they were to come back, you are used to confronting them like you did before. So it's good that we are here this morning on True 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia. This is where national unity begins. Oscar Mohammed is here with me this morning again together. We've come for a weekend. We've got a goodies for you, and we are ready to dish out everything right here on our breakfast table this morning. Good morning, Oscar.
Good morning, Ebi. Good morning to our many listeners across the country, wherever you are. How are you listening to us this morning? I'd like to say good morning to you. And the invitation is yours to stay with us until 10 o'clock this morning, of course, as we break, those pieces of information that you can use and go about your today's activities. We'd like to say good morning and keep the dial set and encourage others to tune in as well.
You're son of a real funny man. They made me on Facebook this morning and said, to me now, he tagged me and under me reference. He said, those that wait upon the Lord will renew their strength. And Jura is Assistant Minister of the Ministry of Information Culture. Anyway, Jura, thank you so much for session the Bible for me this morning. Yes, thank you, my brother. Anyway, it is good. Thank you so much, my brother. That is good this morning. On True 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia, that is where national unity. Let me say happy belated birthday to my friend and brother. And of course, David Frumo Jr., JR100 is popular to know. He celebrated his natal day yesterday. And of course, today is going to be Sarah Donna, one of my great followers, and of course, a fan as well of Truth FM. She said she's celebrating, not that she said, but God said she was going to be celebrating on this day, and she's celebrating it today.
And actually, today is the first birthday of my daughter.
Wow! And you are there sitting?
She turns 1 year old.
Oh, okay. I think I'll have to go. I'll have to go prophesy. Yeah, but man, these things, they happen. These days, remember, Oscar, this God business is easy to make money out of God business.
Really?
Look, I don't know why Liberians will not go to heaven. I don't really know. Because when it comes to believing in God business, I don't know how they do in their own, but they really believe in it, and I really love how they really, sometimes, people are really, sensing that Liberians people believe in it, and as when you see the foreign pastors are now trooping because they know that we believe in Christ business, but how to act and live Christ-like life, that's what now our problem is. Because, Oscar, if you are going home, in fact, I attempted trying it once during the struggle days, and that was when I really wanted to try it once during the struggle days. What I wanted to do was, during those days we used to have bus. You just jump in the bus, you go, Oscar, try it. I want for you and myself to try something, You will be the one to give the testimony in the bus, and I will be the pastor at that time. Then when I open time for testimony, I will tell you what thing to say to sometime. Remember, Oscar, try it and let it be just a bus that may be a 16-seater bus. Not a 16 or maybe somewhere. As you may not have truck, because literally they say, you know, these days they can say you must pay before you enter. That one can stop that preaching aspect. But when they say enter before you pay, Oscar, I'll tell you for sure. When they say enter before you pay, the moment the bus starts, and then the bus picks up, Oscar just start raising some kind of, when you see no pastor inside, start raising some kind of song.
So you can be the pastor, eh?
Yeah, try it. Just start raising some kind of song. You're not pastor, you can be evangelist, anything you raise money in that bus. Just start raising some kind of song, you know. Just start raising the song. Enjoy yourself and clapping. In fact, you will not have to ask people to join you in chorus or maybe to clap along, they will clap. That clapping will start. You just quote John 3:16, interpret John 3:16. The moment John 3:16, remember now you got to know the distance so that the people don't get down from the bus too fast. The guys can be turning it.
You got to turn it.
You got to turn it. You got to know the first stop. Yeah, you will not get it offering. You got to know where the first stop is. Yeah. So if you know more people, you know sometimes. And you know more people will start getting down from Freeport if the bus started from Johnson Street. And you know more people will start getting down from the symbol has to be short and measured in between Claratown and so that before they can start getting down, your offering is already loaded. But when you in fact, that's when most pastors now learn how to have short sermon, because you must be able to summarize the whole sermon and be short. Oscar learned these things. When you know it for true, my brother, your power will always boy. You will have transportation to go. Your power will always boy. You gotta think twice. You use your head. Then the sermon short. You know, that one a money business now. So
that's what you say you learn. I know, use your head, JB.
Oh yeah, that dash. The time, you know, the president won the elections, you know, when he said use your head, he said use your head, change your way, let's be serious. The pastors know how to use their head. Okay, folks, we are here this morning on True 96.1 FM. They are the son of Liberia, and this is where national unity begins. And we can now go on, ready to serve breakfast. What do we have there, Oscar?
Definitely, we are ready to serve breakfast this morning, and not just serving breakfast, because we too have to be partaker of the breakfast. So we are ready to share breakfast with you this morning. It's on a lovely Monday. Today happens to be the 23rd day in the month of July. A couple of days from now, we'll be saying Happy Independence Day to all of you. And so from now until 8:15, by tradition, is going to be our brief studio discussion. Following that is the segment called Face the Nation. On this segment, Grand-Bassa County District 4 Representative Vincent Willie will serve as guest on this first segment and tell recent state of the country's economy had been affecting rural dwellers. Representative Willie will also give a panoramic look at his over 6 months stay at the legislature and state what are the prospects and challenges seen so far. His time with us will not end without getting his position on the bill of impeachment against Associate Justice Kabina Janet. And so that is it for the first segment of the TBS this morning. Abraham Gosson Weir and Oscar Morba's presentation. 9 to 9:15, we're going to have commercial, sports, hopefully, a review of the local daily, if any, and a bit of entertainment to spice up your day this morning. 9:15 to 10 o'clock is Real Talk Liberia, very important segment of the TBS. On this segment, with just 8 more days to the prolonged senatorial by-elections, we have invited one of Montserrat County senatorial candidates, Yekeh Allegations, to tell how his campaign is going on. The District Number 10 incumbent lawmaker has been the single loudest voice at the legislature, defying the CDC-led government for what he believes to be several constitutional violations carried out under the current regime. Number Allegations will state what arousing his anger, especially when he, a part of this government, as a seated lawmaker. Allegations, for his part, has branded the current impeachment proceeding against Associate Justice Kabina Janet at the legislature as a mere witch hunt targeting the Muslim minority. You can also join us live on Truth FM and Real TV live Facebook feed, broadcast of this Monday's presentation of the program. So that is the composition of today's edition, Abraham.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's the composition of today's edition. Oscar Moban and Abraham Goss, and we are here to start the morning for you. On this morning, on True 96.1 FM, and this is the heart and soul of Liberia, and this is where national unity begins. Now, the issues are unfolding in country, and we thought to talk about them. We'll never just leave them like that. We want to say good morning to you, Mr. President, Her Excellency, His Excellency, and of course, Dr. George Manawia. We wish you all the best and keep up the great work so far. And I think for sure, yes, we are getting there. And we will get there. We will get there. And that is very much important for us, especially our country. And this is where we are. There are a lot of issues unfolding, and we'll be talking about that this morning. Some of them this morning, as we await our guests will be coming at 8:15. So not much time we've got this morning. So these are points that we intend to stress this morning in our own support towards this government. And one thing for sure, I know the folks out there, some of them may not like it, but I know there are many of them who think that we supported the change, and then we wanted it, and it was necessary. Even up to now, I don't regret it, and I still think it's necessary. It was necessary that we did it, and that is why I will tell you it was necessary that we did it, because here we are. There are a lot of issues currently unfolding in country. You know, this country is quite an interesting country, and I always told people that no matter what the situations are, things will happen. In a society where people act irresponsibly, recklessly, the only thing that is best suited for them is to change them. That is good. Look, it is your integrity. I told somebody something the last time, and I learned this from a book, and it's called Blue Tears in Washington. And it says, favor will always take you up there. But what you know and do is what will keep you there. That is the essence of politics. People will just like you and they just put you there. But remember, if you cannot execute and live up to the expectations of the people, you're not going to stay there. So that is the essence of life and politics for you. And that's what we look at. Look, a lot of things are coming up. The last time, in fact, another thing came up, and some things that are not good in this government, we'll talk about that this morning as well. And some of the things that we think that the government will have to improve on, we'll talk about it as well, because it's important that we should be like those parents who give birth to children, and not because you supported those children birth and so forth, and then to chase down them whenever they are welcome. You don't want that. Because you want your child to be disciplined so that, you know, that joy, you tell everybody, oh,
But you don't also want that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
about passing down.
Yeah, they say, you don't want that. You don't want that. You just told me now talking about 7 people yesterday. You just out and there's up there today. So that is what we don't want. So we'll be in the business of making sure that the right thing works. Because if it happens tomorrow, even an election is coming, and then I'm sitting right here and telling Liberian people, let us fight for change. They will say yes. The first change you talk about, something came from out of it, and we think that this one again, you are saying the truth again. Those are things that we should pray for. That is the only benefit people like us want from this government. Nothing else but to see to it our brothers who have been appointed, given the opportunity. Yes, those are some of the things we wanted to see happen. It started happening already, and we just wish that the best thing happened for our country. Now, the first thing I would like to register is the issue about a phone call I received from my friend and brother Smith today. He has said that he had a discussion on the general minister, Afito Ta, and there was this strange situation around his yard where people have gone to hunt him for the situation that, in fact, the court won a proxy war. And he said he had that with the general minister. And he said that he had been receiving threats from some people until he had to be chased out of his home. I don't know where he is this morning. I tried ringing his number, it's not on. But I spoke with him yesterday, and he did answer and said that he was staying in his hideout. And I think, and you know, some of us, our top guys who are really talk show hosts on the conference, discussion we had with Smith, told him to just keep it faith. There is a current pushing CDC officials. You know the issue about goes around, it always comes around. So you should be able to know that. And so if something were to be said about a minister, I don't think, even if it's your followers, because some of these things, there are people who are just diehard to people who can do their own thing sometimes. That I know. And sometimes the way you as a leader, the way you talk to, it's because people want to honor, they are too committed, that they love this person. So some of them will sit there and say, oh, madam, just leave that guy, I will visit him. Those things. You got to discourage it, especially when you know your meme has come up. So I'm just encouraging. We don't want for people to see like the media is being targeted and all of those issues. They are not good signs. It's quite terrible. Like Smith said, I hope the officials of the CDC and some of those who are attached to the the gender minister will be very clear and knowing how to approach this issue. Because you cannot threaten the media. You are getting it wrong. And that is not a basis for which this change was being called for. So that you threaten people all over the place is not right. And we think that they should be able to look into that direction and attack that issue. I'm still going to, because Smith is intending to even write international and embassies and those things are not good, that you allow Smith to go that far. And that is very much terrible for our country, especially when this government we just experience transition. And that is why we need to be very much careful as we go on with that. So this morning again, there are a lot of issues. And I'm back on this issue of the impeachment proceeding. And I told you when it's going wrong, and when I sense something like that, I will have to come back to it. Oscar, we were here the last time, especially 2016, 17, and we follow developments. And it's good that God placed us at this place where we'll be able to know what exactly is ongoing. And I think it's where we are now. This is where we are now, that we should be able to pinpoint some of those issues. I was able to jot down high points in relation to the proceedings that's been initiated by Representative Thomas Farah and that of Moses Akaras-Gray. And I got to understand, I know Akaras-Gray. He's my friend, he's my brother. We've been there, and he knows I know his lines. When he's ready to push on things, he really, yes, in some instances, but I know Gray for short. And I was not surprised that Gray was having the kind of push here. There are certain faces, when you see them beyond something, then you look at the faces they are loyal to. Who are they? Where are they on this? So when I heard Thomas Farah, Gray, pushing impeachment, then I thought of something. Who could be beyond this? They are independent lawmakers that I know. They have their independent minds. But I know something is wrong somewhere. Especially when Gray has started this is entire campaign by threatening the Associate Justice and apparently sensing that indeed he's the one behind the suit fight by Shemex Oil and Gas Company, Bility, Petrotree, and that of Aminata and Sons, trying to block this reported 30 million that is already captured within the budget. Those are issues that I was now looking at. Then it didn't take long. In the wake of all of that, just last week, during the dedication of the annexes at the Capitol building, the Speaker, who himself had taken siege of that matter and was able to arrange an ad hoc committee instead of the Judiciary Committee to look into that matter because he wanted to be looked into his way, their way. So he, instead of looking at the Judiciary Committee, yes, specialized committee. So to look at it their way and his way, they organized it that way and they put these members, these committee members there. That was what they did. Then the next thing in line was this. Guess what happened? The Speaker went on that occasion as well and spoke in relation. And these are threats that they made. And that is where my problem is. You have currently a problem before the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court. You are the guys who are supposed to be watching to witness as to whether due diligence will be done and the rule of law will be followed.
Oversight.
Instead of watching and saying we are waiting to see what the judiciary will do or what the justices will do, you went forth sending forth something that appears like a threat to them. This was the statement of all three of them. The President, the Speaker, the Pro Tem. The President, equally, in line with those guys, he said that anybody who stands in the way of the road fund tax. Anybody who stands in, there is a matter currently before the Supreme Court. So it is the government of Liberia versus the complainants. Now, the government of Liberia is saying, when this matter is already in court, that anybody who stands in the way. So that means if they were to lose the case, somebody will have to be punished for losing the case.
Yeah.
I want you to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that is
I want you to get in the logic. If the president said that, then next, what's the speaker? He didn't mince his words. He says similar thing. Then next came the pro tem, our chair. He also said similar thing. That is a line. In 20s, during the Unity Party-led government, one thing I sensed within the government was this. The legs of Representative Moses Akaras Gray, Buffer Chambers, the speaker. It's not surprised that they are using the word impeach, because they are always wanted it that way. But at that time, power was not in their hand, and I think democracy was still full-fledged and functional. So they could just say it, but it was not applicable. That's why, Oscar, when you have later, the house of nerve, and they say, I will cut somebody's throat. In the future, when they grow, when they are able, don't take it for granted, when they are able to grow on their own, never give them knife. Because that knife you will give them, they will surely want to exercise, they will want to apply what they have said in time past. This is where we found the legs of Honorable Gray and that of Speaker Chambers. You know, Speaker Chambers just used to wake up tonight, just spew out the venom of impeachment at former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. For no reason, no basis. Today, he has power. So I'm not surprised. Even if you, so I'm not surprised. I'm not saying that it is not applicable. They are not able to do it. They will do it. They can choose to do it their own way and do it. No problem. Because because that impeachment proceeding is supposed to go already at the level of in fact, they are just the one that initiated. The initiator is now saying anybody who stands in the way will deal with you, will punish you. Then the man who's supposed to really be the one to really go on with the impeachment itself, the Senate, the leadership there is saying that we ourselves, we are waiting for. It's like our chief, the pro tem must have, they are all in cahoots on this whole thing.
They should be like the referee.
Simple. They are all in cahoots in this whole thing. They have said, Chimoja organized their own committee. I will not be surprised if that matter were to go to the, how do you call it? To the Senate. A similar ad hoc committee is organized. The reason is very simple. All of those on the Judicial Committee, they are farsighted. They know themselves, they are lawyers and counselors. They know what it takes to have to impeach.
But you know, what I don't understand is that why is it the guys would not want to use the Judicial Committee?
That is the point.
I listen to our colleague here, Musa Khan, he
Yeah.
stated it. You know, those are all legal issues. It should be discussed. It should be looked at from a legal standpoint.
And Oscar, I would not be surprised if they were to have a ad hoc committee organized at the level of the Senate as well. It would not be a surprise. But let me tell you what's happening. You know why they are doing that? Because in the impeachment stuff that Akaras Gray and that of Thomas Farah drew out, you know what they said? They said in some court cases that Justice Jana were involved, lawyers were afraid to go there because they were afraid of Justice Jana. So, in their assumption is that these guys who are legal luminaries, they will now be afraid to proceed in such a manner that has to do with impeaching. Very good. So they want to set up something, and that was very much crazy. Sorry to say. So why did the legs of Bronsky, the legs of Cummins, the legs of Joseph Boakai, why did they choose at that time that they will go and face the very neck hearing committee that they have complaints against? So if any lawyer chose not to go to court because of justice, who takes the blame for that? It is just a matter of due process. The legs of Bronsky knew that if they had gone to neck, they were not going to win there. How can the matter end at the Supreme Court? But you needed to go there. So whether you're afraid of nego, whether you think that neg you accuse you still have to face your accuser, and your accuser is going to be the referee. It doesn't matter whether your accuser will be the referee, you will still have to show face because due diligence. If you don't do that, you forfeit. And these are things that are happening. And this is what the CDC should watch out for. This is my own analysis on this. What I sense is this. Getting out Justice Johnny will reveal 2 slots to the CDC at the level of the Supreme Court to occupy. One, already Justice Banks has given his farewell and he's almost gone. The president will have to appoint another. If Kabina Johnny leaves again and the impeachment proceeding works and Kabina Johnny is gone, now we shall know. Because most of their things they're talking about here, these are opinions that were rendered. Let's look for different things to really tie to this. These were judicial opinions that were rendered. And if these opinions were rendered at the level of the Supreme Court, I think you should be blaming a Chief Justice who are toothless and allowing one, Kabina Johnny, who is just an Associate Justice, to influence the decision of the entire bench. I remember when the former president, Ellen Johnson, said he was about to appoint Councillor Jinseta Owurokoli to have gone there. Remember, Councillor Jinseta Owurokoli was one of the lead campaigners of the Unity Party, and she was later appointed as Associate Justice. She went there with a mandate for stabilization. The CDC has similar opportunity. Now I'm hearing that they want to post Senator, one of the senators who's craving for this so much, begging on his dying, on his need that is getting to be scraping off. One Nangwe, Senator Nangwe, wants to go at the level of the Supreme Court. Good. That's the slot available to you. Put it there. If you think Justice Johnny, Associate Justice Johnny, is so powerful, very influential, and doing everything, put that one person there to be the tiebreaker for you. And that person shouldn't be weak, if you think. And there's one thing again with this. The international community is watching.
And that is exactly where I was about to come.
They are watching. And the CDC should be careful.
You see, Abraham, this issue this morning, people often say that, oh, Truth FM is a government radio station, especially Abraham is almost like the mouthpiece of the government. But they get to understand how objective we are here on this platform. We must be able to call a spade a spade. And this is why this morning I love it when you have raised up this issue about the CDC and the need that this government be very, very mindful. This government has not even gone a year, and we continue to encounter most of these things that are happening. Remember a couple of months back when the government just took over the situation with the government and Janet Mpelele?
Yeah, sure, again.
People say it was a mere charade. Now Patrick Honda on the issue came in, and of course Patrick Honda took complaint to several international bodies. And now you're listening to what you're talking about Smith Toby.
See again.
Now, so this government needs to be very careful, because
on
this path that you are treading on, you cannot witch hunt the media. You cannot use clever attempt to silence the media. If the media is to be independent, the government is to create that environment, that conducive environment for the media to be independent. So you cannot come out to threaten or to scare the media, only because the media is giving its own objective views and opinions on issues. And maybe this is the point that the president needs to be very careful and take serious attention to. The president has a very good mind for this country. But I think if he sits and allow his followers, those that are around the president, I think these are guys who allegedly are causing the problem. Because the kind of advice, pieces of advice that they are giving to the president, the kind of words that they are whispering in the ears of the president, I believe, those are things that could make a leader to become a dictator. The people around him.
Yeah.
So he must be careful. The president, once upon a time, said that people who were against, this road stuff with Ibo Mav and Elton, the president termed those people as enemies of the state. Do you know what it means for a president to term someone as enemy of the state?
That was not
I
right.
just listened to him the other day when he said that he's going to be president of all and not president of a particular political party. Now, listen to what you're saying this morning. A president making statements that if anyone stands in the way.
You realize these people.
Then how realistic should we consider your statement?
I don't know.
How realistic? No, maybe you remember. I think it was George Moba, former George Moba, who came in and started raising up the point that the speaker is always with the president.
Yeah.
You remember that?
And besides, the protein has added to tripartite everything.
That's anti-arrangement. Instead of us having an independent.
Man, why did you behave? The president just needs to be careful. And that's all I can say this morning.
And not a government.
Yeah, sure. And the president will succeed.
No, he
right?
won't succeed.
But he needs to be careful. The same guys who think they were educated and their impact had never been felt, for which the president referenced in Nima County and said your education, if it cannot impact your society, it is useless. These are the same buffer chambers who just speak big book all over the place. All of these people, they are the same people they are staying around. And the president should know that he's going to be working with them, but he should work with them at the dictates of the ordinary man who feels that the impact of an if he thinks that was the basis, because I listened to that. And that was where people were thinking that the president said Bogna important. And that which Akim has said, no, the president didn't say Bogna important. Because he himself, he said that he's an educated man. The same educated people are around him today. And you should know, the very thing that they did, that didn't bring any impact, they are still there. They are still vindictive nature in which they are very selfish. And they were there and making sure that everything to be around them. The president should start thinking in an impactful manner. So that these same people who think that they can just sit there and speak big book and lie to people, they sit at the hem of power and they think that they can get this happening, they are still around the president. And the president should know that. It's not wrong keeping him around. But you should have your own vision.
Yes.
You should have your own understanding of what you really need for your people. So that these same people who are very of no impact to this country, but rather just dragging from one end to another.
Everybody wants to be the mafia.
Yeah, man.
Everybody wants to attack. Wants to throw that miser.
At this point,
so say something, they want to come out and attack. And maybe I love it when you say that there's a need for this government, people within the CDC government, to have a thick skin. Because remember, during the regime of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the former president, these were the same guys who used to go about doing around insulting. This morning I just tried to reminisce on one of the assistant ministers. I will not call his name. He was on this platform and he tried to go against somebody who spoke against the government. And he said, these guys, they don't understand the workings of government. So I placed the question to him. So when you were in opposition and you were so critical on the government, did you understand the workings of government? You know what his response? Yeah? The man said, by then we just wanted to get the popularity. We didn't really understand the workings. So you see, you just come out and fool people and blaspheme people. That's why most of the time, they used to say the former government said that they didn't have price control, right? You remember that? And they used this CDC government, used that as, a campaign message against the power government. Now, they are coming out again and saying that they don't have price control. So where are we?
And we'll get there. We'll get there. The president will succeed, the CDC will succeed, and no matter what the situations are, we will, as a country, succeed. And let me just read out this communication. This is what I said, bad governance. I have a dossier of audits done at the Ministry of Gender, which, of course, my own Oma, she was there, but she didn't know plenty of things were going on. That's why I said a change was necessary. People were just giving each other salary, allowances, eating the country money, and we'll be getting on that on tomorrow morning. The next thing that's happening again is this thing that is very terrible. Remember the LEC thing we can be talking about? Listen to this. There's a communication that has come from the U.S. Embassy to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now listen to this. There is an attachment. I'll read the attachment, but there is a communication that was first sent on July 17 by these institutions, these entities, and the European Union to Liberia, the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, Ambassador of Ireland, Royal Norwegian Embassy, and of course Embassy of Sweden, British Embassy, all of them, they wrote in relation to how government have been running this issue about the power. You see the past government issue have been doing, and the CDC government is inside too now. I don't know whether they will get money to even pay back. But let me now look at this. This is what the communication said, and I'll read it right here. It says, power to the people, right? They wrote Honorable Minister Samuel D. Toy Jr., Honorable Minister Gisle E. Mure, and of course, Honorable Achibaya Bernard. Power to the people. Stabilizing Liberia's energy sector to deliver affordable and reliable power requires a financially sound utility to sustain significant donor interventions. You listen to that. Now listen to what is said. We congratulate the government of Liberia on a generation of 187 GHz of affordable energy from the Montgomery Hydro Plant since December 2016. With more to follow when works are finalized. Total installed generation capacity. Total installed generation capacity is now at 126 megawatts from the Montgomery Hydro and of the thermal plants against a peak demand of only 31 megawatts. Total partner their commitments of US 825 million in the electricity sector of Liberia, supporting the government's effort at the Montgomery Hydro plants. They are talking about the successes that were involved. Now, this is what is really interesting because we just have to run through our guests already here. We don't want to keep you waiting. They said, if successful, these projects will achieve President Weah's proposed agenda. In light of the stakes, we note with great concern, these are the concerns, we note with great concerns that AEC faces substantial financial and managerial challenges, which risks the sustainability of the Montgomery Hydro Plant, as well as the success of the initiatives and opportunities in the energy sector. Urgent challenges requiring the government's engagement include: one, urgent payment by the government of Liberia, the AEC. The largest consumer is the government of Liberia. Government now owing itself. This is the what the people say you. I come in. This is how the people get invest with the government for owing itself. They said payment by the government of Liberia AEC, largest consumer of its utility bills. These areas represent needed funding. The AEC basic operations such as connecting customers and servicing contractual obligations towards suppliers, including operations, maintenance, and training at Montgomery. The money that government owe, they say the money that government owe for people. So now you go to say to no transformer in town, right?
Yeah.
Why it is true? Yeah. Why it is true that AEC is in the business of cutting off people who owe, the private people who owe. Government itself who owes a huge chunk that they're not paying. And there is not now. They're not paying. They're not paying. And there is not just the CDC government. There is something that started back then.
Yeah.
So the CDC government has just inherited this, and this is what they are now going through. Oscar, my mic man is giving me some problem. Yeah, okay, yeah, please.
I think you just need to dress a little bit for it.
All right. So it's in the neighborhood of 3.5 million, from what I'm understanding.
The debt.
Now what they owe? Government. And I believe that if you listen to what the people say if that means the government itself has been responsible for strangulating people for not being connecting.
Sure.
You owe these people the same way when they owe radio stations, they don't want to pay. The radio stations are strangulated. Newspapers are strangulated. Now they have gone to their own enterprise to strangulate it. And the bad part of it is that it is not affecting the poor, because the donors' interventions are meant to affect the poor people's lives.
Sure.
Mr. President, these are things you have inherited and you have come to face.
We left everything.
Yeah, and these are things. Yeah, and I think for sure that the president will understand that these debts will have to be paid, so that the poor people will be connected. Because the poor said these things, if the government were to pay it, people will be connected. You will get transformers, you will get poll, you will get training, all of those things. Government is holding on to all of those things. That's what the people said. So people are sleeping in darkness. They're strangulating AEC. That's what government had been doing. And I know, Mr. President, you are listening, and you'll be able to settle all of those things. So they say hard commercial losses of AEC that nullifies the rewards of lower cost energy generated by the Montgomery. Everything affecting Montgomery. Look at all the embassies. They don't want to put together and wrote this letter. Then what did the United States United States government do through an embassy? This is what the embassy said. The embassy, they wrote to the Foreign Affairs now. There is a letter here and close. The embassy of the United States of America presents its compliments to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia and has the honor to seek the ministry's assistance in passing the attached document entitled Stabilizing Liberia Energy Sector to deliver affordable and reliable power requires financially sound utility to sustain significant donor investments from partners including the EU, Germany, Ireland, Norway, Sweden, United Kingdom, United States, and the World Bank, directed to the Honorable Samuel D. Toure, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Jesler E. Murray, Minister of Mines and Energy, Honorable Achiba Bernard, Chairman, AEC Board of Directors, with courtesy copies of the Honorable Nathaniel F. Miguel, Minister of State Presidential Affairs, Honorable Trocon, let me try to get this straight here this morning, Honorable Trocon Boy, and Minister of State without portfolio, Honorable Besonga and Finlay, Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Embassy of the United States of America avails itself of this opportunity to renew to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia the assurances of its highest consideration. And the last opportunity, they say, if you don't pay this, we the donors will not pay our money. We will not give you anything. That the letter they sent to them. And we hope that the president and team will take siege of this. We know that it didn't just start from this government. So we can say, but you are now, you got to take everything along. Let's take a break. Orange Liberia, Shemex Oil and Gas Company on the TBS.
Perfect place to stay during your visit to Liberia? The Golden Key Hotel, a Liberian-owned establishment, is your best option. Located just 26 miles from the Ramsey International Airport and about 6 miles from Monrovia, the Golden Key Hotel offers a range of accommodation solutions, guests, including fully air-conditioned, single, double, and multiple bedrooms with 24-hour service, continental breakfast, wireless internet connectivity, and cable TV service, free laundry, and other services. Yekeh Hotel has outdoor garden restaurant, swimming pool, outdoor garden, flower hut, and mini basketball court, a 200-seater conference room, ideal for hosting workshops, wedding receptions, and other events. We also do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as catering, car rental, and airport shuttle. Check out our Sunday buffet from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday. For our special rates, bookings, and other information, visit our website www.goldenkeyhotel.net. Email us at goldenkeyLIB@yahoo.com or call 0886-303-309 or 0777-303-309. Golden Key Hotel, ELWA Community, adjacent SKD Sports Complex on the Rawasi Highway.
Insurance Company of Africa, ICA, announces motor vehicle insurance policy. Our motor vehicle insurance provides 3 types of coverage for vehicle owners and motorists.
Yeah, I didn't go to the last one. struggling to read. We'll try it on that. Class A FM and other community radio stations are relaying this broadcast as well. Vincent Willie, District Number 3 representative in Grand Bassa County, is here with us this morning on Troop 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia. And this is where national unity begins. Honorable Willie, I want to say good morning.
Good morning, AB, and let me quickly say good morning to the peace-loving people of Mama Liberia and the people of West Territory District in Grand Bassa County, the people that I represent.
I know. And everyone is looking at you as well in the United States of America, your Bassa Solidarity people, all these people that are watching.
Oh yes, good morning to the Bassa, the United Bassa Citizens in America, the UNAMBOA, and the Bassa, Grand Bassa Citizens Association also in America.
Great.
Good morning to all of you.
Great. In recent time, I don't know whether it's only related to the urban, but I would like to go more in humanitarian this morning. First, on the issue of the flood situation that must have followed, you must have followed activities was running that here in the urban area. I don't know, but in other counties as well, there were reports of serious flooding that took place that affected people, took people from homes and things. How was your district?
Well, basically, my district is a rural district, and most of the time, the flood will actually be along the main road,
Okay.
and probably in the butchers and things. But Grand Bassa were heavily hit in Buchanan City. The representatives, Honorable Matthew Joe, and portion of Honorable Goswa District too, that closer towards Buchanan City. So basically, in our county, those are the two districts that were hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
District 4 was.
District 4. The flood in our district would mean it be along the main road. When you drive in and the car cannot move easily because the water, but most of our villages are now being attacked. We in a rural area. Wow. The urban people will continue to suffer. Those are some of the challenges of living in urban area.
Yeah, okay. That's disadvantages, right? So you people have the advantage. There's disadvantages and advantages attached to everything in life. So at least for your people, that is good.
The urban people continue to suffer.
Yeah, we got the urbans. People just built in areas and
building alleyways
and all of those things. It could affect
they
it.
put their dikes in drainages and so forth. So we'll continue to suffer.
Okay. So and with this being said, and this morning we've looking at first of all the economic situation in the country. You've spent over just 6 months at the level of the national legislature. Now, here we are. Looking at this country, and there are a lot of issues confronting this government, and they still have to look into it deep. We all know that the economy was such as terrible that was inherited by this government. And if you look at the rural people, if the urban people get big cry, I don't know. Sometimes I want to understand what's happening to the people down there as it relates to the country's economy.
Maybe, it's so pathetic when a country that graduated from HIPIC, and you see it gradually moving toward HIPIC, and then you turn to wonder and you turn to worry about the economic situation within the country. When Madame Sally took over, we were, HIPIC is the heavily indebted poor countries, and we were at the peak of HIPIC. But the government struggled, and Liberia was able to be removed from HIPIC, and then this government took over. Our people in the rural areas will continue to suffer because it is very much difficult, AB, for development to have a trickle-down effect on the living condition of our people, say for instance in West Territory District. In the next 10 decades to come, all of the taxes being paid as central government will not affect the lives of our people directly. That is why over the years we have informed government that the social benefit of our people, say for instance the money that Meta still pay, should go into an extra account. And that is why we as group of lawmakers from rural areas that represent rural counties, we are about to put for a bill so that we can change the budget law of this country, so that all of our funding will not go into consolidated account. Because
the rural districts, a bill?
Yes.
The districts?
Yeah.
Only from Grand Bassa County,
no, I say
all of the rural districts?
Okay. Rural districts now, River G, and I have conception.
So what are the concerns so far?
The concern is, if, say for instance, Bon County, Nima County, they receive, I'll give you the practical example. Metasti was paying 1.5 million to Nima County cover, 1 million to Grand Bassa County cover, and 500,000 to Bond County. But if that money entered the cover of national government, the pool in the pool account, for you to access that money, the bureaucracy is too huge, and the money will remain there probably in 2, 3, 4 years before you have to access even 500,000. And that money could be used.
But it is there, though. It is for you.
It's there.
No one is using it.
I mean, people use it when government gets broke. Government go into that account and remove the money and use it. So the time you're looking for money, the time the country is actually in need of money, the money you can't get it easily. So those are some of the challenges that one of our colleagues on the report was telling me, because they have loggers, they have logging company in their district.
Okay.
They still, even on the Dopo, they were also complaining about these things.
So where you think the money will have to be? An extra account?
What
in the counties?
What we intend to do.
Where the county development fund money can go?
The county development fund is in the same place. We have to write for county development fund. Every money, as per our law, our financial law, PFN law, every money go into extra account, into the consolidated account that you apply.
So you want all of these districts or counties to have financial autonomy?
No, not financial autonomy. We just want to reduce the bureaucracy. Take for instance, if we have our money, say 50% of that money will go into an account that the Minister of Finance or the Minister of Internal Affairs can be signatory to that account. Our county superintendent, probably legislative caucus, can be signatory to that account.
But the same thing.
Yeah, but the thing there is that to remove that extra money from the account, it means our county superintendent has to be aware. The county legislative
okay, that's what you mean. Because those signatories.
Yeah. So you will not just move into the account. Say for instance, the Minister of Finance can shift the money from one account to another. You will not just take our money and use it probably because something happening in Bogonjile and you have to take Grand Bazaar money or River Jeep money and use it. That's the issue. So if we build those systems like that where portion of the money is being placed in an account, you also having an oversight on it, but to remove that money is not at your own description, but the counties that have the funding will be aware. Then there's a balance. Like that, maybe you can see a direct development going to the people. Then on the flip side, we continue. Like the last time I was looking at the rate, and I went to change money a bit, I got so discouraged. Government, I don't know which one of the institution doing that, and I think I need to follow her as I get to the office today. How did they arrive at this, or derive at this, when the rate was flying so high? In a twinkling of an eye, I saw all of the money changers running from the street, and you could not find any money changers. Currently, if you went down Dupo Road to ask anybody along the way to change money, they will tell you 100 the rate. Meanwhile, the rate at the bend is 160. So
150,
160.
Yeah, because
government has created a situation for them to exploit our poor people. Government has created a situation to exploit our people. Instead of helping the people, it was better for the rate to remain at that level.
But the foreign exchange bureaus are there to help the central bank. So why can't the people carry that? Why would a person like you just go on the sidewalk to go to change
I'm talking
money?
about the foreign exchange. I'm talking about the foreign exchange bureau that along the route.
That registered? You think they are registered?
How do I know that they're registered?
Dupo Road Junction here. No, you don't know, because it will be displayed that indeed Foreign Exchange Bureau and its lessons, you will see all of their registrations, documents are placarded.
Probably the past 4 or 5 days you have not changed money. But if
no, I can change money, but I don't just go in the street. Why will you just go and do those boys?
You and I will go to the bureau, right? But my old lady in West Side District or the old man I live, Joba Market, the time involved to get to a bureau, you know the bureaus are far apart. So they probably get to one little fuller shop or...
And the fuller man decides.
The fuller man decides. Because his government has created a situation. It was better for you to find the other solution that the last time on OKFN. I said when the president was speaking, I thought the president would move by reducing the interest rate at the central bank. And then the commercial bank now will also reduce the interest rate. People like you and other guys will run to the bank to take loan. Because the current interest rates are 12%.
Yeah, 12%.
Who will go to take 12% in this country? We are at a higher level in terms of interest rate for loan. You don't do that, Ebi. You go around the world, you're probably at the maximum of 5-6%. I still believe that the US dollar is in circulation, but it's being kept by the banks. Because nobody going for it. But if you reduce the interest rate, a lot of people will go, people will take the building, probably a 2FM building, you will use as a collateral to take money from the bank. And you will still see the circulation of US dollar in the market. Rather than just running after those street boys and say you're reducing US rate.
That's important, and that's a very much good idea too. But let's go back to how the guys are behaving and changing money for 100, 140, 110, all of that.
It's bad. It's bad, AB.
Things prices.
Things prices remain the same, but the rate have dropped.
Yeah, but you think
I don't know
things
what
prices
I don't know
will
what
drop like that?
I don't know
Even
what's the
if it were
rate.
you, even if it were you, and you bought something, this phone, you were able to buy it at a rate. Let's say you bought it 75, right? Orange was able to give it to you for 75. Now you have it. The rate was up at that time. Oh, you spend all your LD to put beyond this phone, and then you have it. Then now the rate just dropped. You just want for me to you just drop the price like that. Who stands to lose?
Maybe the rate has not dropped, and that is why I want you to.
But the rate has dropped. You just said it has dropped.
It hasn't.
You
That's
said
a
these
ceremonial
prices.
dropping.
No.
How can you
The
go
government
in
is currently making interventions.
What's the
and
current
of course
rate,
calling.
The current rate is between 50 to 60, 150, 160.
Yeah.
Since
It's dropped.
yesterday to today. No.
It's dropped to 150.
No, it's between 50 to 60. Except the morning when we look at the central bank current exchange rate.
Yeah, we can look at that.
So we can look at that, but
Yeah.
it still remain in the area of in the confine between 50 to 60, 150 to 160.
So I expect prices to just drop automatically.
You're not getting what I'm coming from, AB. I'm saying the policy being instituted, I don't know by which one of the institution, but to the central bank to go in the street and start chasing people when you have not built the system to allow the foreign exchange bureau to function smoothly, it creates the black market system, and that is what's happening now. You allowing those guys along the street to make more money at the expense of the poor people, because the people are still changing 100 rate. I challenge you now, go down to Dubai and ask anybody, they are changing 100 rate because they don't have the time to go. They don't even see the foreign exchange bureau. Most of the bureaus are not registered. Most of the bureaus are not registered.
And they told
Most
them
of
to
the
be
bureaus.
registered. And in fact, when you go there now, they say you must get receipt. The policy now government has put in place when you go change money. You carry any US to any, you must get receipt to it, how much it was changed for, so that you use that.
Every room will not build in one day. I even believe the station you
Okay, let me give you the rate for today.
Okay.
In fact, they haven't updated it yet, but as of the 21st of July, this is what they have there. 148 is the buying rate, right, to $1.
Yeah.
Then of course the selling rate is 150 to $1.
Okay. So, but now on the black market, you will not find that rate.
Okay.
You will not find that rate. You institute your policy. Room will not build in one day. You take time to mend the process. What you need to do is get in the street and say, look, foreign exchange bureau take time to register. And gradually you will remove the guys from the market. Even those that sit along the street, government can still generate funds from them by allowing them to register as well. But probably their fare could be different, right? Because the time you will take, maybe from GSA Road Junction to Dubai Road Junction, you will have only one foreign exchange bureau. The man who sits along the road around PCL will prefer going right next door to the full charge to change. So government can still generate funds from that, rather than just driving them from the street in less than 2-3 days, and you think you want to reduce price. So you allow those petty traders to make more money at the expense of the poor people, because they are changing the rate, they are changing the money at 100. They run to the bank to sell the money at 150. You see, they're buying the US from the bank for 150.
Do you know about business?
I did business before.
At what level?
I did business at a very low level, and those are the kind of businesses we are involved in.
All the thing that you talking, you know the reason I'm asking, because you know how the thing can happen. Everything that grassroots business is talking about here.
Wrong, because affecting the poor people, it was better for you to remain at 160, 165, rather than allowing our people to change their poor US for 100.
How you say about that?
Give me a chance now.
Yeah.
I come in before you come in. You're not getting the concept. Government want to help. There's a poor government.
Yeah, pro-poor.
It means that the poor people are in sympathy with the poor people. But now, as the rate is now, it's affecting the poor people. Because the man take it, $5 US, poor $5 US, going to change it at 100. Right? He changes at 100. The 100 is not the actual rate. The actual rate is being kept in the bank, and few
of the want to buy something that's still expensive.
The same rate, but he changing 100. And the actual rate is probably kept at one or two, three bureaus that are registered in the central bank. So they are exploiting the men because the government new policy that they not take time for them to process it.
Oscar has something.
So you rush a system, and the system has created another bottleneck for people to corrupt our poor people.
Okay, let Oscar ask you.
Yeah, so my follow-up question to that, Honorable Willie, is that where do the poor people stand now out of this? Because remember, having
they are being exploited.
$US and then going to change it, instead of having more money, you're having fewer money or lesser money, but then the money that you have now cannot buy the kind of items that you need because you got small liberty in your hands. These prices are still escalating.
I just inform you that our poor people will continue to suffer when government institute policy, that those policies, that we don't take time to process the policy. You cannot just create law one day and you want to institute, you want to enforce the law at the immediate time. You don't do that. When the central bank got ready to do that, they should have started informing the people, even those street vendors, those guys who are changing along the way, start informing them that the rate is this, the rate is that. So gradually. But you drove them from the street under the pretend that they are not registered business people. They are not registered bureau. Now, most of the registered bureau, the few registered bureau that you have, they don't have the capacity to change money. They don't have the capacity to even go where Buchanan or even in my district.
So the idea is good, but then the procedure error.
It's wrong. The procedure.
So why can't you take complaint to people? Why if they were to have agents?
That is why I'm saying if they are taking time, they will have agents. Those guys who sit along the road could be their agent. But now you have no agent. You left the whole system. You left the whole system open, and people are exploiting from it. So currently, as we stand, the only people that are benefiting are the money changers, while the poor people suffering. So the few money changers that sit in a little corner and you go there to change 100 rate from them, probably 110, 105, because currently people are changing between 110, 100.
110, 100.
Which is totally wrong. So you allowing the man to make $40 to $50 from a poor man for each dollar. So AB, their policy is very good, but they did not take time. You don't rush a policy. You don't rush things of such.
So
you have to take time gradually for the people to understand how it will be. Probably you develop agent, you put agent in the street that will inform the people and educate them. But as we stand, only the poor people suffering.
All right, let's go at the level of the legislature. And I would like to ask you this first, though you just entered there. Are you in the know of any situation at the level of the legislature that has to do with the road fund tax that is currently centered of our discussion that's leading even towards the judiciary where impeachment proceedings have been held? What do you know about?
Well, I'm aware of the road fund, right? I'm aware of the road fund, and I know of it. Vis-a-vis the
what are your readings? What you think? No, we'll come to the impeachment. But what are your readings? What you think initiated this whole thing? What do you think is wrong or right?
The first thing I like to say, the road fund was a very good idea.
Okay.
The 30 cent addition 30 cents was a very good idea, and the ideas were meant to help build roads, rehabilitate our road fund. Because our extra charges on every imported petroleum gallon, every gallon that will be imported in this country. So if you calculate that times the amount of gallons that will be imported, will give you the amount of dollar that will be owned by government. So the calculation was very much good. And in 2016, 2017 budget, that amount was captured in the budget. That amount was captured in 2016, I think 2016 or 2017 budget.
Okay.
From my reading up to current, the amount between $30 million was to be paid, was to be collected. But then your boss, Screamer, the owner of Screamer and our petroleum company, ran to the court. And then they placed an injunction on
stay order.
They placed a stay order on that. But while the stay order was being played, the funds were being collected.
Okay.
But the same people that ran to the court.
They were still collecting
the money.
Okay.
That alone, the fact that you feel that government, because their argument was only the legislature can impose taxes.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not the interministerial committee. That was the argument, and the argument was valid. Granted that your argument is valid, then you don't go ahead receiving the money. Okay. When you receive the money, on a false pretense or by exploit that alone, I can consider it by exploiting.
Because they never needed to continue.
You never needed to continue.
Okay. All right.
Because you say it's wrong for them for you to collect that money, then don't collect the money because the money is intended to help the Liberian people.
Okay.
So the fact that you collect it, then you pay it to government cover. But if you collect the money and use it for yourself, it means that you are exploiting the Liberian people.
That means you have that money.
You have the money.
You must have it saved.
You must have it saved.
Good.
Because you know that one day Liberia will know, or the people will know that you collected those.
So the basis of that money was charged. Let's say, for instance. So what you understood from there is this: that maybe I was being asked to pay $30.
Yeah.
And then, in the instance, the $30 I was supposed to pay 25 hours to go to or Grand Bazaar or Buchanan. Then father stay with me, right? But in the instance, you went around and said, no, the issue about this collection, I said, no, Vince, you are doing bad to me. I will not pay the tenant. And then they put hot to it.
Now you supposed to let me to pay.
I stay collecting the tenant, the 25 hours to go to Bazaar. It's not going to Bazaar again. It stay with me and I stay get my $5.
Yeah.
Is that what the case is?
Yes.
All right.
That's
good.
the case.
So then that is the case. Then if that is the case, then there are concerns on the part of government. The matter is currently before the court.
Abi, what I don't want to do is to join the combine the ability, the screamer and so forth, petroleum company,
Aminata and Sons, and all of that.
To that of the Supreme Court bench and vis-a-vis the impeachment.
Okay.
Why I don't want to do that is that screamer, petrol trade and so forth, they are legal entity.
Okay.
We can go for them as lawmaker. We can call them before us for exploiting
this money,
for exploiting the Liberian people because
you
the
first
facts
can
are there.
accuse them.
Yeah,
you can accuse them, take them to court.
Take them to court because the facts are there.
Okay.
Right? As lawmakers,
If you have facts now,
but the facts are there.
Okay.
They themselves know they collect their money.
Okay.
Is that straight?
So it's on that basis you will now take them to court. So why it is true that injunction is at the Supreme Court?
You don't need to take them to court. We are
so what do you do to them?
We are lawmakers. We have the right to call screamer.
Okay.
We have the right to call screamer, petrol trade and so forth. Say, look, gentlemen,
please.
come. This is the issue. What your thoughts about it and why you collected this money? Because we are the people represented. That money was being collected under the pretense of giving it back to the Liberian people, and you didn't. So why are you keeping the people money? You don't need to rush to court now. So if you say screamer ran to court and yes, state order was being played on it, they collected the money now, and you come back and then you brought in the issue of impeachment because that the impeachment, all of the counts that were being raised in the impeachment. I mean, the bill pop up by Fala and on Gray. I didn't see that. That is because they ran to the court and the court is being and somebody on the Supreme Court. No, so I don't want to dive into that. Yeah. That would be considered as a gossip or as a speculation. So I don't want to dive into that.
But what you saw in the impeachment, didn't you think it warrants impeachment?
It doesn't, and that is why I'm not supporting it. Okay. I support the payment of the funding that was collected falsely on
using your legislative power to have that money paid. Is what you support.
Yes.
Good.
And they will pay that money.
Okay.
They will pay that money. I can tell you for sure they will pay that money. But for you to now say to pay the money, someone from the Supreme Court must be impeached, I say no. Because you don't need it's just an individual. Okay, let's hold everything constant that indeed Justice Janet is one person. It's the one person behind
government to lose the case.
Yeah. They had 4 other persons on the bench. So his opinion will be overruled by the other 4 people, right? Because they have to vote. He can send a dissenting opinion.
Like he did during the 2017 elections.
Article 73 gave him the right. Article 73 says while he sits as a chairman, every decision, your opinion, he cannot hold him responsible for that. Even us as lawmakers, it also gave us the right that we, as seated lawmaker, anything we do in parliament, you cannot hold responsible for it. So for you to place that in one of your camp, it means it cannot survive. So that one will be tracked.
No, but the people-centered aspect is the land grabs, the issue of the cases that have to do with all of that. Those are the people-centered aspect that they are pushing. Though other issues such as the code of conduct, they said the associate justice nearly made the country to go into serious problems, especially in the wake of the code of conduct.
Then I should be supporting the removal of the justice. Because let me tell you, Abi, let me hypothetical here. I was elected on October 10th, 2017. If Justice Janet's opinion have gone that way, and then the court say that go for rerun, probably I wouldn't have become a lawmaker today. Yeah. Because if I had gone back to re-campaign because financial constraints.
So why they only restricted the rerun to that of presidential? Because there was no issue of representative.
Because no, it's an assumption. Yeah. Because Liberty Party whole issues, everything was involved. The whole suit that it should be a total rerun.
Total rerun. Yeah.
So legislators were also involved. They were later before they were being removed. Okay. So I'm saying that means Justice Janet was also against us as lawmakers. So I should be supporting a removal. But I'm saying no. It lacks legal basis. It lacks even the construction of the constitution of our committee, of the special committee, is also a violation.
So what is the violation? Very good.
It's also a violation.
Said that according to your rules, you can utilize.
I think if I'm a Zai, he can rule. Akara should be reading Rule 37. If I'm a Zai on Rule 37, let me make you to understand. Impeachment is a legal procedure. Impeachment is a legal. To impeach somebody must follow the legal procedure.
Okay.
The only legal body we have among us, the only legal committee we have is the Committee on Judiciary. That's the legal committee we have. That committee has legal luminaries who are more legally inclined than we do. Councillor Wessel, Councillor Bien Howard, and so forth. So they understand the legal issues, right? To now remove it from the Committee on Judiciary, and you say you establish a special committee where the Speaker has the right to establish a special committee.
Then you put a co-chair there to give it a face.
No,
that
one is not an issue. Let me tell you. The reason I'm constrained to say that, right? Liberia, from where we have come from to this situation, to the current position, AB, we don't need impeachment. We don't need impeachment.
Okay.
An attempt to impeach a justice, it's even by just announcing it, you threaten our democracy, you threaten the justice system of the country. The only body we get that giving sanity and dignity to our government as a people is a judiciary. To now go after the judiciary, to have a judiciary interference or judiciary threatening, you threaten our democracy.
You call it that way?
Yes.
But recently the
let me give you a chance. Give me a little chance.
Okay.
Let it be established that today Justice Jana has been removed. The government control the judiciary. There is the possibility, and that is why I was informing most of our colleagues. I said I support the government as an independent candidate, but not everything that the government put on the floor that I think is not right for us as a people I will support. The possibility to remove a lawmaker also will exist. Because if you can remove a justice, and we overwhelmingly vote, and we think a good thing as lawmaker, and I'm telling them today, for most of our colleagues on our voice today, if you go after the
Constitution provides for removal.
It provides for removal, but it should be on a legal basis. It should have merits. It should not be
a lawmaker should be removed on legal basis. What is the big deal about that?
But now you remove a justice not on legal basis. The issue lacks merits. You remove him.
So it's more political than legal.
It's more political. If you remove the justice, I'm saying the likelihood to even remove a senator by the body, by extraordinary force that come from us to remove you as a lawmaker, it will exist. And there should be a warning to all of our colleagues that today a justice be removed, the fire on the bench, you remove one person. We are 73 to remove one person easy.
Do you sense CDC wants to control the judiciary? That's why they're fighting for this?
No, let me tell you. Every government wants to control the the executive branch. We have a system that provides for imperial presidency. They say the legislative branch is the first branch of government. I agree. But the most powerful branch of government is the executive, because they control the finance of the countries. They raise the revenue. They do everything. Today, before we take pay, it has to come from the executive. So anyone who controls your stomach controls you directly, except where you have to stand strong. Because the executive will come out today and say today, no salary, no money, as they can usually do.
But provided Justice Jana is removed, the CDC currently has a slot to occupy at the level of the judiciary. And it's in their priorities.
Yeah.
Remember, you have Banks.
Justice Banks will soon be leaving.
He's already giving his farewell. It's just parting movements now left with him. And if Jana is removed, then they have two to make a 25 members bench.
AB.
That is very much key.
AB.
They could put their best out too, don't you think so? The thing about independence, integrity, is what that body needs. And that's why, according to them, that is what's lacking in Associate Justice Kabira Jana.
Let me tell you, AB, the situation of Justice Jana it did not start today. The removal, if you can recall, you being in the studio saying 2014.
Yeah.
When Honorable Gray and Honorable Fala was in the 53rd, they were members of the 53rd legislature. the issues of Janer's removal, Justice Janer's removal, came on the floor. They were the CEO guys that were kicking against it. That is why I asked them, when you realize that this man created all of these issues that you raised, except for the one that just came on during the election period. That was the only one that came on in recent time. But all the other counts came from 2016, 2017.
Okay.
And you were a member of the 53rd legislature. So why didn't you raise the issue? And you are one of the main person kicking against a removal. So what have overcome
So
you?
what are the situations around that removal?
What have overcome you? You joined it.
So
You know that Justice Janer removal is not today.
No, I know he has already. Even the bunch of the Supreme Court bench during the election, it also came out again.
Yeah.
International partners had to intervene for the stability of the country.
Why didn't you remove him in the 53rd? Why didn't you support the Unity Party guys at the time? And you kept fighting back up to current. Now, the second part of it, AB, we need to be very, very careful. We need to be very careful. We, as members of the 54th legislature, when we got elected, the repetition and the caliber of people that went to that entered the 54th legislature, the 54th legislature was highly respected by the international community. For some of all who interact with international partners and international organizations, this 54th legislature is one of the bodies that is highly being respected. But our respect is gradually wearing away.
What's leading to that?
It's gradually wearing away because the decision we take as legislators, we were being respected by the international communities and donors because the caliber of people that entered the 54th legislature.
Okay.
They were not people who come from the sidewalk. They were guys with expertise. They were guys who have worked sufficiently in the various capacity. They were guys with experience, strong financial background, economic background, and so forth. You can name it. Good experienced guys who have entered, men and women, from professional backgrounds that are entered. If you reach each of our profile, you'll know what I'm saying. So the international communities and donors were reading each of our profile. So they said, now, wow. We believe that sanity now will come to Liberia.
So what are some of the decisions so far?
So we have taken, like some of our colleagues now, that the one we started discussing. Will you imagine that some of our colleagues who are not reading above, who are not even looking beyond, they are siding with these guys, but I can assure you that they don't have the numbers. They don't have the numbers.
And
Because-
this might remain in that committee room.
AB, there are legal procedure we can take. We that are against it. I can run to the court, AB, and issue prohibition on that procedure. I'm a Liberian. I have the right that when things are going wrongly, I have the right to go to the court. The court will grant me it. I've started consulting with my lawyers. Baby, this country will not allow.
So there are
it.
plans
Yes,
by
we
you
will not-
guys
we will
to
not
raise
allow-
a prohibition on
AB.
our committee's functions
AB.
on this whole impeachment
AB.
proceeding.
AB, we are all politicians.
You guys should
Let me
stop
tell
the
you,
distraction.
we are
The
all-
country is
no.
serious. We talk about economic hardship.
That is why-
Then you're talking about all those
AB,
kind of
that
fights
is-
in the house. Why
AB,
these distractions?
and that is why we should not go the way we want to go. And that is why we must focus. The people in West Side district, they don't know who you call Justice Janer. They don't know him. It's not their concern. If I entered West Side district today, if I say, oh, they want to remove Justice Janer, my people will say, what you call? They will start asking me, but I said, then that Justice Janer. And you know, they don't even know what you call Justice Janer.
Okay.
They don't even know Chief Justice. They want to hear that, oh man, the back of red press coming down, the rate coming down, your car road so rich. That's the only concern. So what concern me? What concern me as a direct representative when I've had no legal, when their case had no legal backings and merits? Why should I support it when my people don't even care about it? Why should I support it?
Okay.
So my people concern here is for the U.S. rate to come down,
And all those things.
the rest price should come down,
And that's why you
economic
people should be
hardship to
focusing on.
reduce,
Okay.
the road condition that the president tried to acquire some loan
Yeah.
so that the roads can be built. That's the concern of our people.
Okay.
And I think we should get more focused rather than moving to something that will plunge us back into war and chaotic situation in this country. Maybe I think we need to be very careful.
We need to be very careful. Complete recap of the statement of Representative Vincent Willie of Grand Bassa County District number 4. We can now get to the lines. For those of you in the diaspora, check our screen. Yes, you can have the numbers there to contribute. And you can have it, and you're just looking for the screen, so you can have that there. Well, and there are reports that the Monrovia City Corporation bus The MCC boss Jefferson Koji did hire. I'm saying only diaspora. I don't know why these people get here. I said the number on the screen is only for diaspora. Please read out.
Break it down,
Oh, diaspora. Those people outside of this country, I will see the number. I will know. I will see the number outside of this country, and then that's what it's for, so that they can participate. Then please read our local number. Yeah, please read our local number, please. Yeah.
The local number is 0775-3736-5707, 0775-3736-57. Better still, if you are on our Facebook Live, you will also see our local number there.
Yeah.
So you can just call and have this.
Yeah, sure.
So begin putting your calls on 0775-3736-57.
57.
Of course, our diaspora international number is on the screen.
Is he gonna bring it down?
Diaspora. That means that you should diaspora.
Yeah. Let me.
Let me talk to this caller.
Okay,
Good morning.
Good morning, brother Oscar Moba and veteran.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Boaka Kruma, and I joined the conversation from my Ayage resident. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Man in Studio.
Good morning.
Actually, I agree with everything he said in Studio. You know, Honorable Gray and his like need to actually put the interest of the Liberian people above personal interest. Alright? The issue that has to do with impeaching Justice Janet, will that solve the high economic issue in our country? When Justice Janet is impeached today, with the exchange rate drop and it will also commensurate with the prices, when the rate is dropping, with that commensurate with the prices of basic commodity in the market. Why expect Honorable Green and other want to actually use our time to be pushing something that is not significant to the growth and development of our country?
Okay, thank you. I have to hold you there and take more callers here. 0775-3736-57.
Let me just speak my. Let me just speak my birthday, man. Who celebrated his day yesterday? J-Bo, what's up?
Yeah, very much, and thank you for the recognition. I want to speak on, my name is David Somochion, but I'm popularly known in Tokoro at Java 100. I want to speak on the foreign exchange issue that the Honorable was speaking on this morning.
Yeah.
You know, let me commend the Honorable. The Honorable is well informed. I don't know if it was a money changer before getting.
You are down the line. He knew about this thing there.
Okay, because you know, I want the big money changer within this country. You can do analysis. You know, right now we got something they call Judiciary. When the president go on air is to issue the deal and take a decision, we call that Judiciary.
Okay.
It's where you steal 1,000 US and get 1,000 US profit. You change 500 US, you get 500 US profit.
Wow.
And who should be affected? Like the Honorable was saying, the middle people. Because now for me, I'm fetching you the same rate. When the woman will go and change your money for 100, like the Honorable said,
Okay.
it's 100% right. So what I'm trying to say is the government and central bank need to look in it keenly. They need to be very, very careful.
Okay.
And also, it will be the way when I expect it. Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Okay,
thank
let
you,
me talk
Jan.
to this caller right here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you. You have to be fast.
Yeah, my name is Steve Richmond Clark Jr. calling from District number 10.
Go ahead,
And
Richmond.
good morning, student guests. First of all, let me just comment on the Vincent Willie for his effort. And another thing is that I don't think our lawmaker that focus should be on removing Justice Janet or cutting care for himself. Because our key factor in Liberia now is the hunger that is striking Liberia, the need to see for it. Because any government that don't put food on the citizen's table, the government cannot be praised. Because number one, a guy who passed to a post just a feature with Joseph and that of the president, if a lady said, the man who put at the 3 days, why would get him order before you're going to bring Joseph and Jogia here?
Okay.
See, so that is
So you think, hello? Hello?
All right.
You think they're leaving the most important thing and running after the ones that are not important?
All right.
they're leaving the most important one.
All right.
I just wanted to get that.
All right, Oscar. Let me get to Representative Matthew Joe of Grand Bassa County as well. His caseman is here. So, Representative Matthew Joe, good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to the honorable man facing with it.
All right.
Representative of the West Territory District.
Okay.
Good morning, my brother.
Barita on F. Okay, I just want to speak quickly to the issue of the
Yeah.
Maybe with the issue of the central bank policy, with that of the money exchanger is good. Remember at the time, the rate was increasing on a daily basis. At the time, they had not come up with this policy. The rate was increasing on a daily basis. But with this policy, the rate is stable. For our people in the rural area, as they said, maybe let our people stop transacting in US dollar. Our people are selling local goods in US dollar. I listened to you the last time where you went in one of our county and somebody was selling groundwood to you for $20.
For $20.
$20. You will go to Domo shop and then people will be selling Domo to you for $5. Why will our people continue to sell in US dollar? It's not good. It is not good at all for our country. You know, so our people in the rural area, they should accept Liberian dollar to dollar into US dollar. And when they continue to transact in US dollar, time for them to go and change their money and they cannot get money change around, the legal money change around, people will always steal from them.
Yeah, you're right.
So we cannot give round to such a people like that, legal money change all around the street, and then when they say they add $1 or $2 to the rate, if the central bank had not come up with this policy, by now the rate will move around 70.
Sure.
They will move around 70.
Okay.
But now the central bank is saying, go to the register and bureau.
All right.
We have lesson bureau.
Thank you. Thank you.
Instructed and give them set rate.
Okay.
Then why you just say 148? That should be the rate. If you get to somebody who wants to enter bureau or enter shop, if somebody wants to give you less than 148, that person wants to see.
All right.
That's not the rate.
Okay.
There's another thing again that we have in the area of the rate. I would recommend to our colleagues and that of the central bank that all our transaction, 75% of our transaction, be done in Liberian dollars.
Okay.
That should say all those that are working in private and public entities, they should be paid in Liberian dollars.
Okay.
Should be paid in Liberian dollars.
Okay.
75% of our transaction on our market should be done in Liberian dollars.
Okay. Okay.
And our people will not know what is called US dollar.
Thank you.
The dollar issue now is the rampant issue now that everywhere you go, people will call US dollar instead of Liberian dollar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Representative Matthew Joe. Thank you. We'll get you your own economic advisor, to this country. We also need it too. Let me see one of these callers, somebody who I can better get on through. Hello. Yeah, how are you doing? Hello. Okay, wow. What are you doing to my son in the last one? The last caller now. Sam Wozie is on the line, Assistant Minister at the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. Good morning, Honorable Wozie.
Yeah, good morning, Ebi, and good morning to your judges.
Okay, go
Let
ahead.
me just respectfully disagree with some of the insinuations you made earlier on the program that the government introduced a policy to support the common people, and that is untrue. And I think...
Did he say that?
What the honorable man said in the studio, that the government introduced a policy to support the common people. I mean, that is support the common people. That is not true. The strategy is to formalize the forest sector, the forest system in Liberia.
Okay.
And there is an incentive for that. As money changers sell the foreign currency to the bank, commercial bank, they get an extra amount on it. So the issue of controlling monitoring around the country is strategic to ensuring effective macroeconomic stability.
Okay.
So I think the honorable mayor, with all due respect, need to take more time to study this very well.
All right.
So saying those things, you have to stop political matter. I understand he's an independent evil.
Okay, thank you. You're always looking for attachment. Let me speak to this diaspora caller. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, how you doing? Yeah, I'm hearing you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Okay, my name is Margaret Tiffany, man. I'm calling from America.
Okay, Cassidy, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for accepting me on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to extend my greetings to my old brother, Honorable Willie.
All right.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Okay, I really want really understand what makes the rate to go up and to come down. You see, what happens is that central bank does not have the foreign exchange. So let's assume that K&K, Fiscal Corporation, and some other vendor wanted some money to send for goods from overseas. Maybe K&K won about $1 million, and Fiscal won $2.5 million. They go to central bank. Central bank does not have that money. Where do they go to get the money? They go to the bureaus. They go to the bureaus and ask the bureau, how much you changing for? I change it for 145. Okay, I need about 500,000 in the next 2 months. So please raise the rate up to maybe $160 so I can get that money as fast as possible. So the only way to reduce the risk is to make that foreign exchange available through the central bank to the vendors.
Okay. All right.
And you find out that you will stabilize the rate.
All right.
But the procedure they use it to go on the street and remove people on the street don't control the rate. So you remove that just as what he said, you will create more problems for the common people.
Okay, thank you. Let me just squeeze in the last caller from diaspora, then we'll close now. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello, how you doing? Yeah, hello, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, my name is Billy Basha and I call from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to mention it all when you see it. I think I would like to speak in regards to what you said about the Chief Justice, the Justice, the Social Justice.
Yeah.
My issue is that you also need to know that the candidate because he's trying to beat justice, so you need to read what the application is going to do. But we not always need to go to the court to start the kind of what to go to the law, it's going to be process.
Yeah.
What the guys are asking that this initiative is that it's actually legal. So they are accused of the Chief Justice of many other people or the president died because of his behavior. So that is true. I think it's important that we investigate and go into the matter and also the justice actually did that.
Yeah.
She has come and criticized it. She has to know that these allegations are great and let us see that if this thing happens, the justice will take. She has to take justice now, do the law.
All right. All right. Thank you. I think the guys are calling now. Let me just squeeze in the last one, and I think it's going to be very brief. Hello, quickly.
Hello, Amy. This is Son of Yekeh, and I'm calling Yekeh Allegations.
Lagos, go ahead.
Yeah, Amy, what I'm concerned about watching from Lagos, I want to look, one side is backing him, but the other side, there's a focus on economic problem. But I want to see whether some safety is important. Can he outline the legal camp that he got have against the justice ministry so we can also send for the legal camp what is the foundation for the people?
Okay. All right, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do that subsequently. Or really, he can just close now.
Thank you very much. And let me say thanks to all of our callers, most especially the ones from the diaspora for following. And I think AB, thanks very much for the kind of work you guys doing. At least our people in the diaspora following on, and as the debate on and move on. Yeah. I'd like to quickly respond to my kinsman, Joe. Yes, it's a fine idea. I think we have the power. And that is why we need to speedily look at Honorable Jason Sipo bill, that he preferred a bill for us to use the local currency, Liberian dollar, as a transactional currency in our country. So if we do that, it means that our old people will not sell in US dollar, they will not sell in US dollar, they will sell in Liberian dollar. So we have the power to do that as legislators. So the power is in our hands. So you cannot go tell the central bank and say, tell the people to do that. We have to say the Liberian dollar should be used for transactional purpose only. Okay. And then the US dollar for other activities. Thank you very much. And I think that's your opinion, but you did not listen to me very well. I said the government, the policies that have been instituted, that have been placed on the floor, the policies that were being introduced was not being introduced properly and not being well structured. And Minister Wozi, let me tell you, you cannot tell me anything about macroeconomics. You cannot tell me about that. Maybe you don't know the person you're speaking to. Okay. But I can tell you that Rome was not built in one day.
So
you cannot bring a policy today and you think it will happen the next day.
Okay.
You cannot do that.
So let's just
there
run
are
through
procedure.
now.
And Honorable Gray, I follow your chat.
Yeah, you say you're not reading.
You say I'm not reading. That's your opinion. And let's wait for the day presented on the floor. Let's see whether the issue whether I'm not reading. Let's see what happened there, because I was on OK there and I listened to you saying a lot of things against me, which I don't take into consideration. I will not vilify that.
Okay.
And the guy from the USA, Judge Jana is not the first time on the bench. He's been there for almost probably 12 years now, 12 years plus. And those issues, they raised him today. They said he killed and blah, 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 has been mentioned by you. Then that is what I'm saying. I don't like for people to think and take the Liberian people for joke.
Right.
Use our situation and you think you want to promote yourself. You should not do that. In the fact you should remove him.
Thank you.
We will not support that.
Thank you, Honorable Vincent Willie, for being here with us this morning on the TBS on 296.1 FM. He's District Number 4 Grand Bassa County Representative. He has been here with us on the TBS. We take a brief break. Sports. Then, Honorable Yekeh Allegations, Moserado County Senatorial candidate, will be here with us.
Definitely. So let's just take this sport announcement right here before taking on sports. This one says the administration of the Lycosis Teacher Training College wishes to announce to school administrators that student teachers are available by one. Because the Lycosis Demonstration School cannot effectively accommodate all the senior students, schools will be required to send a written evaluation of the assigned teacher for administration's decision. This announcement is only intended for schools opening a vacation school, and this is signed by Benjamin Huawei, Chief Administrative Officer, Lycosis Teacher Training College. And so right here we can take on sports right here on the TBS this morning. Naumin Tapia is here to begin this week's edition of the sports right here on the True Breakfast Show. Good morning to you, Naumin.
Good morning, Oscar. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Passion of Life. Liberia and Sierra Leone settled for a goalless draw on Sunday in the friendly encounter organized as part of the Independence Day celebration on July 26. The Lone Star, who started on a beautiful note with ex-international star St. Johnson being featured over the weekend, drew with for Sierra Leone counterparts at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex. In continuation of the Independence Day celebration, the executive branch of government overpowered the legislative branch of government 2-0, with President George Mane Weah scoring the first goal for his team, while Eugene Nangwe scored the last goal to climax the Independence Day encounter between the two branches of government. In Saturday's last encounter, Mighty Barrow bowed to Invisible 11 5-4 goals to end the local soccer activities of the day. Stakeholders of the Liberia Football Association have amended Article 58 of the Local Football House Statutes, which was revised last December. The decision was taken at an extraordinary Congress on July 21, 2018 at the Antoine Tottenham Stadium in Central Monrovia. The LFA Executive Committee, in accordance with provisions of Article 36, paragraph 36.1 of the statutes, decided on the holding of the Extraordinary Congress at June 29, 2018 sitting. Article 58 had two conflicting clauses as related to the qualification of a presidential candidate, which led to conflict in the April 14, 2018 elections, as it ended up in court. In the Article 1 provision calls for the high school diploma holders to be allowed to contest the LFA presidency and vice president post, while another calls for college or university degrees. Those were the latest from our RCA Sports Desk.
Visit to Liberia, the Golden Key Hotel or Liberian establishment.
Live via Facebook as well. We're here on Truth FM this morning on this very day. And this is it. Yeah, we are here on our final segment on this day on Truth 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia, Lighter FM in Grand Bassa County, Classic FM as well, and other community radio stations relaying this broadcast, BSU FM as well, also relaying this broadcast. And we are right there with you in the diaspora as you follow us here back home. We are here this morning with district number 10 representative from Montserrat County and a senatorial candidate in the pending by-elections. And Yekeh Allegations is here with us this morning on Truth 96.1 FM, the heart and soul of Liberia. A lot of issues we'll be talking about. One has to do with, remember there was a publication from the government-run newspaper and alleging that he's somebody. And this is not the first time it's come up. These things have been coming up before. But anyway, let me welcome you. There are a lot of issues we'll talk about, the impeachment activities, his campaign activities, what is ongoing so far, and we'll look at that as well in passing. And let's get on to him. Korba, welcome to the TBS.
Thank you.
Okay.
Honorable AB. I will appreciate if you can cut the air condition off because.
You're not used to it.
I'm not used to it.
You're not used to air conditioning. Okay, no problem. Let probably go. In your office, you don't have air conditioning there?
Well, you know we're doing propo now, according to the government propo. So.
Oh, okay. Propo is what you.
So I don't want to get used to it here and go there. I don't have it.
Oh, okay. So no air conditioning in the offices?
We are doing propo business, so I don't want to get used to it.
No, excuse me. Is it you who cutting it off, or it is not available?
Well, we don't have enough fuel, no good current system, so I have to cut it off.
Oh, okay. I see. So you're trying to help to save government.
Yeah, to save government.
Okay, to save government. All right. At least you're good. And all right. So let's go on and then start off with this. How is your campaign going?
Very good. I'm the next senator of Montserrat County.
You're the next senator?
Very well.
Give me the assurance.
Very well.
That representative, when you said that I ain't happy, now they want now.
Look, let me tell you something. We're going to prove something in Montserrat County here. And they have started seeing it already. I am the next senator of Montserrat County. Remember what I'm telling you today. I told you I'm going to be the next representative for district number 10. And so, I am the next senator of Montserrat County, no doubt.
But you are saying that because you went there, contested, you were defeated,
no,
you went back.
The people are resolved
so,
to vote
are you for senatorial only?
The people are resolved to vote for the name Yekeh Allegations. Just listen to the result. Yeah, on the telephone will be the election. But 12 o'clock on the teleface, on the 1st of August, election is finished at 12.
By 12. I will be here reading the results.
Yeah. And you will hear it.
So when I play pressure music on you, you will feel bad.
I will not feel bad, AB, because I'm not going to get pressure anyway. I'm going to win the election.
Because you're too optimistic. I'm sensing from you like you almost.
I am the next senator of Mossad County.
I give you that assurance because you're one of the guys who's all of the odds against. Those of you sitting lawmakers and we're against all of those odds. Why are you?
Yeah, but the Constitution gives me the right to run now, so at least that's my right to run.
But you are the same person who told the Liberian people that indeed that right is something that is not in the interest of the Liberian people, and you were even fronting for them. Now, sitting lawmakers were not supposed to be the one contesting.
No, who said that?
You said the CDC government, knowing the prevailing economic situations, they are feeding candidates. And knowing that that will be able to affect the country.
So,
and you are equally a sitting lawmaker.
So what it implies? It implies that there's money in the country.
Oh, money in this country?
Yeah, money in the country. There's no problem.
You say there's no problem. You know there's problem. So that the CDC tells you there's no problem, and you accept that there's no problem?
The president is proving to us that there's no problem. Putting somebody in the race from one country and putting someone in the race here, you know, what it implies, AB? It implies that there's no problem.
And you agree that there's no problem?
I, in my mind, know that there's no problem.
In your mind?
Yes. Yes. Because of the attitude of our president.
No, but then your consent of understanding that there is no problem is on the basis of what the president is doing, not out of personal conviction.
Yeah,
out of conviction, you know that there is problem
there
in this
is
country.
Problem.
There are economic situations that we are faced with.
And he's saying
and
that
president, you're not supposed to be in a race. But because the president,
he's saying that he's not expressing it. He will say that there's no money, but he's not expressing that there's no money.
Through his action.
And you being patriotic now. Why couldn't you have said that I'm very patriotic? Even if the president chooses to ignore the prevailing situation in this country, I'm not going to join him to spoil things. I'll stand on my own.
Before the president even said there's no money in the country, my people petition me to run. I'm not going to turn down my petition.
Okay.
I'm not going to turn it down. Yeah, I'll be very deceitful to them.
Great. Now, that is not the first time. We are in the wake of campaign, and you have been making a lot of statements. And that is not the first time this has come out against you. During your campaign activities leading towards the representative seat you currently occupied in District 10, Mossad County, there were these allegations of your involvement and, of course, what you did to parents in time past, naked your parents and all of that when you were serving as police and all of that. That is even published in the government-run newspaper. They call it the New Liberian newspaper. That was also captured in it. Why? All of these always coming up all of the time.
No, AB, the people want to take us from where we're going. We got national issue to talk about. I think the government should be talking about how the U.S. rate will come down, how the rest price will come down. Instead of talking about Yekeh jailed his mother, he beat his mother, you know, he fought war. They fought war. Maybe I said to you on so many occasions, I fought war. Did I deny here to you?
And you beat your mother too?
No, I'm not talking about beating my mother.
Okay.
You know, those are things they will say. The one that are true, I will say I fought war. But I don't think this government, Ambassador Weir government, Ambassador Weir should be telling people to put in the newspaper, oh yeah, you say the man jail your mother, the man there, the man fought war. Ebi, let me tell you something. Just in passing, you know why the UN sent former President Taylor to go and disarm the people in Freetown? Because they thought in their mind, President Weir had control.
President Taylor
had control over the people of the rebel of Freetown. You understand what I'm saying? You know why the people sent Ambassador Weir to go and disarm Model?
No.
Because in their mind they know he supported Model.
No, why you tell that one from?
Check the records. He supported Model 100%.
How is that?
Check the records.
He's a peace ambassador as a soccer athlete. Some would like to see him like that.
Let me say something, AB. Let me say something, AB. They will not send AB to go disarm rebel that you don't have control over.
No, your presence. He is a person of stature, influence.
No, I am telling you what I got as evidence. Our president now was a financier of Model. He supported Model.
What is that evidence? Where did you take
I got it. When we get to court, you're not a court.
You carry who to court?
No, anybody take me to court, I can produce it there. Now I don't have to give it to you. I am saying it.
But you have it.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge for Ambassador Weir to take me to court. I can prove it.
So no one is clean from this war.
No, you see the reason why. You see the reason why Momodu then is saying walk around court is not necessary because they know it will tie him.
Oh,
okay. I want walk around court to come. Let the walk around court come.
But the issue about his involvement is quite distant. You can't find it there. No,
it
that,
will never be
maybe
distance.
A person like you have it, but
it will never be distance. Let the walk.
So in what context did he support Model?
Financially.
Morally. Who was his contacts?
Look, I am telling you, I don't want to say on the radio now, I am saying he gave support to Model 100%.
So who was his contact?
I am saying he gave support to Model 100%. That's why he was.
And where were you at that time? Because you from MPFL. How were you close to
that
Model?
time I was staying in the war. We were fighting war. But you know we had inter relationship during the war. During the war, we were communicating. And we knew what was going on. You remember our former president said that Ambassador Weah want to become president? You know President Taylor said that.
Why he said that?
It was because of that reason. It was because of that reason.
Maybe they must have gone to him, raised money for him as a soccer athlete that they want to bring money back home to help their people.
It was supporting another war group.
Maybe if the war group had gone to him, he didn't know the purpose for which they were using his money.
The war group will not come because the government now will not support it. I challenge them 100% to support it. Let it come. Then you think if someone will go there, then you will see the number of people that will go there. Ambassador will go there. You have to go and answer the question. You support that model.
No, maybe you're just trying to fight back because
no, I'm not fighting. I will not dignify that. I will not dignify that because the newspaper is a state newspaper. Should be talking about how the U.S. rate will go down, how the rest price will go down. But talking about Yekeh beating his mother, that's a serious issue. It's not a serious issue to dignify.
Okay, so we've gone on that already. You've addressed that. Let's go to this issue relating to the impeachment proceeding. There are certain chants all over the place. People just repeating that you are threatening the impeachment of the president, and he's the one that should be impeached, especially in the wake of the impeachment threat against Associate Justice Kabina Jane, influenced by folks of the CDC in Akara's grade and that of Thomas Father. Why?
Let me tell you something, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. You know, when you try to say the fact, people downplay it. The president got people that work with him, consulting, that make 580,000 US. 580,000 US every year to consult him, to tell him what to do. You understand what I'm telling you? You understand what I'm saying?
He has consultants who make that money?
Yeah. Yeah. Check the budget. It's there. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So those people are supposed to be able to guard the president in the process. But they didn't do that. Maybe you know and I know, the liberal people know that all the laws have been violated by this president. What have Kabina Jane done? Because you want to silence the Muslim community, so you want to get Kabina Jane, or because there are two things they want to do it for. They want to silence the Muslim community. Number one, in my mind, I got no regret to say it. Because Manaseri saw that the Muslim community need to be represented on the Supreme Court bench.
So
you understand what I'm saying?
A religious attack? Are you
yes, 100%. 100%. He want to silence the Muslim community. But I said, put him there to represent the Muslim community. So if you take in a person, or then I mean you want to silence the Muslim community. You understand what I'm saying?
Replace him with another Muslim. What big about
that?
They
don't want to replace him with another Muslim. Let me tell you what.
How do you know what they want to do, even if it want to work?
Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you what's going on. The president is getting ready for the next 6 years. The president are getting very unpopular. He know in the next 6 years. No, let me tell you something now. Let me tell you something. You will see it for the senatorial election. You will see it.
Okay, so why if it doesn't work that way?
What they want to do in the next 6 years, if the 6 year come, he gets very unpopular, they want to hijack the election again.
You're just talking.
I'm not talking. I'm reading the space. They're trying to get prepared for the hijacking of the election. You saw
but that's integrity issue they're talking about here. You look at the period of impeachment. You look at that. There are lines running there that has to do with integrity. The issue about the late Clark case is one of the issues raised by them. The next issue there that was raised is this issue of a land that apparently he's involved with, that someone was taken off the land, eviction took place. Then other counts they have against him in relation to something that could plunge this country into crisis that he was must have been involved with during the election process. Those are all genuine concerns.
Okay, we agree. They got all the concerns, we agree. Why you can't turn the case over to the Judiciary Committee to work on it? But it's selected, this election. Bring people that got influence over to tell them, this is how we want the investigation. No, this thing is political. We would not say
it's not legal.
No, it's not legal. There's no legal thing in it. 73, Article 73 gave all the judges the right to say, to make decision, to give ruling, and they will not be held accountable for anything that they do. For the two, give us the authority too. You understand what I'm saying? So the people are protected. Okay, let's agree you have done all of that. Let's agree you have done all of that. Let's look at Article 37 of the Constitution. was violated by the president of this country. Article 39 was violated by the president of this country. Who gave contracts in the country? The PPCC. Vet the people that they giving contract to Nassau?
Sure.
Fine. The loan that was given to the Burkinabe, you listen to the PPCC people? They were now apart. So I think the president should be impeached and cabinet general. Right after our break, I will be introducing the impeachment bill.
To where? To the house there?
To the house. To the house.
And you think was over?
He want to bring problem in this country. If you want to silence the Muslim community, you'll be bringing problem. You know what?
What are the problem he has got with the Muslim community now?
Why you want to take a cabinet general?
But remember, he just had a prayer session recognizing them. I don't think the CDC has got a huge Muslim support, especially on their way to
They're not appreciating it. They are not appreciating it. They are not appreciating it.
And these are the tribal sentiments that will bring conflict. And you don't want
and
that.
And
that's why
I don't
you shouldn't be saying that.
That's why I don't want.
That's why you shouldn't be saying that.
That's why I don't want. And you know what I have done? I said because of this, any function the president attends, I will not go there until he stop. He tell his people to stop the impeachment proceeding. When I opened our annex, I did not go there. I was invited to go play football game. I did not go there. I am invited to a bento. I will not go there until the president can stop this against the Muslim community. He will not see my face. I will go to session.
You are doing this to win political support.
Why you got political support?
That's why you want. You want a Muslim community to give you support.
I won district number 10. I did this before I won district number 10. You joking with the name Yekeh Allegations, eh? Are you joking with the name Yekeh Allegations?
No, the name Yekeh Allegations existed and was defeated before, so I know you can still be defeated. So that name has been there.
I'm the president of most of the country.
Yeah, but I know that. That's what I'm saying. The name Yekeh Allegations being called before, it was defeated. Yeah.
The way forward is the president should stop what he's doing. The president should stop someone. She sack some of those crooks that are around him.
You think they are crooks?
Very well. Because if they mean well for this country, listen to what the Code of Conduct section 1.33 says. It says any gift that is given to the president of this country or any public official that is more than $200 should be brought to us, the lawmaker, to determine if the gift is in the good faith of this country, if it will benefit the people of this country. Our president still can one play passing around with I'm not being declared to us.
No, I think that plane you should settle down.
Well, I don't know. You got to tell me I've been settled down. He need to tell the public where is the plane.
The man saying,
and the same man that gave him the plane, you saw what happened, right? He gave the man gift. I said in my mind, the president received brav.
No, that is meant for your country.
Why you call for what country? Okay, why he didn't declare to us in 7 days? The Code of Conduct say the Code of Conduct say it should be declared to us, the lawmaker, in 7 days. Did he do that? Or you journalists are not doing
Did he do it in bad faith?
He did in bad faith. That is why
the bad faith?
The bad faith is he gave the men that gave him plain contract. You know word? Deny it, you know word.
But that contract was it rewarded in bad faith? That's what I'm asking. How?
In bad faith.
Who stands to benefit?
Are you aware that even the loan they talk about will not enter this country?
Which loan? The Eto loan?
The Eto loan.
You're a lawmaker.
Yeah.
You're saying that?
Yeah, it will not enter the country.
Why?
And the president is also aware that it's a 419 loan. That's the reason why I'm the only lawmaker that didn't sign no loan.
Yeah, but you people as the lawmakers had the opportunity to review.
We were not given the time. We were not given the time. That one of the reasons why I didn't sign. I make commitment to my people in my district. Any paper I will sign in the Capitol building will be brought to us, and we will look at it to make our input. But they said, just stay ready and sign one paper. I went there as a crazy man. I went to school to just sign paper in the Capitol building. I didn't just go there just sign paper. I was saying that about people, they need to be consulted.
But why you choose? People look at you as a controversial figure at the level.
Let them say what they want to say that they're right.
You know, you remind people about the Unity Party-led government in which the legs of the speaker today used to speak the way you speak today. So maybe...
So I'm not wrong for speaking the way I'm speaking, right?
No, the point is, the former manner in which he was speaking, people said that it was not right. He was creating unnecessary tension.